Okay, good morning, people. You're welcome to another episode of class. Today we'll continue from where we stopped in our previous class. Today we'll be considering an addition of like fraction. Remember our last class we did how to convert from mixed number to improper fraction. So today we're going to do addition of like fraction and ordering of like fraction. Now, to start with, I will like each and every one of us to understand what like fractions are. Like fractions are fractions with the same denominators. They are fractions with the same denominators, and they can have different numerators. So they are fractions with the same denominators. Let's look at this example. You can see 3 over 7, 5 over 7. You can see the denominators that they are the same. So when you have a fraction like 3 or 4 fractions or more than one fraction with the same denominator, those fractions are regarded as what? Like fraction. Remember that like fractions are fractions with the same denominators. Now let us run through some examples. We are to add the following like fraction. Remember, we are doing addition of like fraction. We are to add the following like fraction. Now let's do the first example. Add 5 over 2 to 3 over 2. Now you can see from this question we have 5 over 2, we are adding it to 3 over 2. Let us check the two denominators. They are the same. The denominator here is 2, the denominator here is what? 2. So when you are adding this, what you do is that you just pick, let me write it out. Now what? 5 over 2 plus what? 3 over 2. Since you have the same denominator, all what you just need to do is to what? Pick one out of the two denominators and add your numerators together. Your numerator here is 5, add it to what? 3. That will be 5 plus 3 over, pick one out of these two denominators because they are the same. So you pick it, that will be what? 5 plus 3, that will give you what? 8 over what? 2. Now when you look at this fraction, 8 over 2, we discover that this fraction can be divided. 2 can divide 8, and when we divide it, 2 divided by 8, that will give us what? 4. So our final answer will be 4. Okay, now let's do number 2 example. Number 2 example says, simplify 2 whole number 1 over 3 plus 5 over 3. Now look at this question. We are to simplify 2 whole number 1 over 3 plus 5 over 3. Remember, we are adding these two fractions together. The first thing you need to consider here is that you need to check if the fractions are like fractions. Check the denominator. This is 3, this is 3. Definitely these two the fractions are what? Like fraction. So you write it out. 2 whole number 1 over what? 3 plus what? 5 over 3. Now look at this fraction here. This is a mixed number and here is what? An improper fraction. What you need to do is to what? To convert this mixed number to become an improper fraction, and that was what we did in our last class. So how to do this? I give you a formula. Your whole number multiplied by your what? By your denominator plus your numerator over the denominator. That's to get this. That will be what? 2 times 3 plus 1, everything over what? 3. 2 times 3 will give you what? 6. 6 plus 1 will give you what? 7 over 3. So therefore, this fraction, this mixed number will give us what? 7 over 3. Then we'll now go back to our question. You write 7 over 3 because we've converted this 2 over 1 over 3 to become 7 over 3 plus what? 5 over 3. Here now you can see that it can be added because this one has been changed to a proper fraction. Here now you can now pick one out of these two denominators, 3. Then you add these two together, 7 plus what? 5. And 7 plus 5 will give you what? 12 over what? 3. Then let's check this fraction. You discover that this fraction can be divided. 3 can divide 12. Then when you divide it, you get what? 4 as our final answer. Okay, now the third example will be on subtraction. How to subtract like fraction. I want us to be attentive, please. I want us to be attentive. The question says subtract 7 over 12 from 9 over 12. Subtract 7 over 12 from 9 over 12. From this question, we have to subtract this fraction from this, not this from this. Please take note, you have to subtract 7 over 2 from 9 over 12. So definitely 9 over 12 will come first when you are writing it. That would be 9 over 12 minus 7 over 12, because you are taking away 7 over 12 from 9 over 12. So when you are interpreting it, you write 9 over 12 first minus 7 over 12. So from here, I told you that since you have the same denominator, you pick one out of the two, then we'll pick one. That will give us 12. You write your numerator 9 minus the second numerator, which is what? 7. Then you now say 9 minus 7. 9 minus 7 will give you what? It will give you 2 over what? 12. Let me write it out here. 2 over 12. Now if you look at this fraction, you discover that this fraction is not in the simplest form. Simplest form means that the form in which the fraction will no longer be divided. So this fraction is not in the simplest form. Then you now look at the two numbers. Here is 2, here is what? 12. Definitely 2 can divide 12. Then let us divide. 2 divided by 12 will give us what? 1. 2 divided by 2 rather will give us what? 1. And 2 divided by 12 will give us what? 6. So our final answer will be what? 1 over 6 in the simplest form. Okay, our next subtopic will be ordering of like fraction. How to arrange like fraction in either ascending or descending order. You can see we can arrange like fractions in either ascending or descending order. Now look at these two terms, ascending and descending order. We need to understand these two terms. What is ascending order and descending order? Ascending order means the arrangement of fractions from the smallest to the biggest. The arrangement of what? Fraction. Because why it is fraction is because we are considering fraction here. It can be numbers. So, but because we are considering fraction, that's why I wrote it is the arrangement of fractions from the smallest to the biggest. That's what ascending order. Look at descending order. Descending order means the arrangement of fractions from the biggest. Descending order is the opposite of ascending order. You can see from the biggest to the smallest. When you hear descending order, you should arrange numbers or fractions from the biggest to the smallest. Now let us run through these examples. Number 1, arrange 1 over 3, 5 over 3, 4 over 3, and 7 over 3 in ascending order. Now, look at this question. We are to arrange 1 over 3, 5 over 3, 4 over 3, and 7 over 3 in ascending order. The first thing that should come to your mind is that these fractions, they are what? They are all like fraction. Why? Because they have the same denominator. Look at it, 3, 3, 3, and 3. So when you see fractions with the same denominator, remember I told you they are called what? Like fraction. Now we want to arrange these like fractions in ascending order. And from my explanation here, we say ascending order means the arrangement of fractions from the smallest. So we are to arrange these fractions from the smallest to the biggest. And how can you arrange like fractions from the smallest to the biggest? Now you can see that these fractions are of the same denominators, 3, 3, 3. So you now check the biggest numerator. The biggest numerator will be your biggest fraction. Now you can see the biggest numerator here is what? 7. The biggest numerator here, you put it number 1. You check the the next, the numerator after 7 is what? 5. Sorry, you put it number 2. You check, we have 1 and 4 remaining. We have what? 4, which is the next one, that's number 3. And sorry, we are arranging it from the smallest to the biggest. So definitely this one will be the smallest, so this one will be your number 1, followed by this one, number 2, followed by this one, number 3, and this one will be the biggest, which will be what? Number 4. Because this 7 is the biggest numerator among all the numerators we have here, and 1 is the smallest numerator among all the numerators we have here. You now say, therefore, to arrange in ascending order, you now say the smallest numerator will be what? 1 over what? 3, comma, the next one is what? 4 over what? 3. The next one is what? 5 over what? 3, and 7 over 3. Now we have arranged our fraction in ascending order from the smallest to the biggest. It means 3 is smaller than what? 1 over 3 is smaller than 4 over 3, and 4 over 3 is smaller than 5 over 3, and 5 over 3 is smaller than what? 7 over 3. So we're going to take the last example for today. That's example 2. Arrange 7 over 11, comma, 5 over 11, comma, 8 over 11, and 2 over 11 in descending order. So let's look at these fractions. They all have the same denominator, so they are like fractions, and we are arranging them in descending order. It means we are arranging from the biggest to the smallest. So I told you that if you have fraction with the same denominator, you need to check your numerator. From your numerator, you'll be able to know the biggest fraction to the smallest fraction. Now we are arranging from the biggest to the smallest. Then check the biggest numerator here. The biggest numerator here is what? 8. So this one will be our biggest fraction. That will be our number 1. The next one is what? 7. After 8 is what? 7. That will be our what? Number 2 fraction. And the next one is what? 5. And that will be our what? Number 3 fraction. And the last one is what? 2. That will be our what? Number 4 fraction. You now say, therefore, to arrange all these fractions in descending order, or from the biggest to the smallest, the biggest numerator here is what? 8. That will be what? 8 over 11, followed by what? 7 over what? 11, followed by what? 5 over 11, and 2 over 11. Now we've been able to arrange this fraction in descending order. Okay class, I hope you all understand the class or the explanation. If you miss out on any explanation, please, you can take it back to catch up with that explanation. And on the platform, your assignments and your homework will be dropped on the platform. Please ensure to do your assignment and your homework. See you some other time. Bye.